I pass everything through myself when I should pass it through my fingers. Hello to all viewers of my channel. You know that quote from author Volodymyr Stancheshin just perfectly captures that feeling, doesn't it? That feeling of being completely overwhelmed by anxiety. Today we're going to unpack where that feeling comes from, why we all have it, and, most importantly, how we can start to change our relationship with it for good.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That feeling of letting all the world's worries just soak right into your bones, instead of letting them flow past you. It's a feeling I think every single one of us can relate to. It's the very core of being overwhelmed, and it's what we're going to explore today.
And right off the bat, here's the most liberating piece of knowledge you're going to hear. It is not just you. The author actually suggests that, in a way, we're all members of the anxious club. Just realizing that you're not alone in this feeling, well, that's the very first step to understanding it.
So let's get one thing straight. The big goal here isn't to magically make anxiety disappear. Honestly, that's not even possible or desirable. The real goal, the thing we're all aiming for, is to learn how to live a full and happy life with it, to see it as a constant and maybe even a useful companion.
Okay, so you're probably asking yourself, if anxiety feels so awful, why on earth do we even have it? And the answer is actually pretty fascinating. You see, when it's working the way it's supposed to, anxiety isn't a flaw in our design. It's more like an evolutionary superpower.
At its heart, anxiety is your body's internal alarm system. It does two main things. First, it signals danger. You know, that jolt you feel when a car suddenly cuts you off. Second, it mobilizes all your body's resources to deal with that threat, getting you ready to slam on the brakes in a split second.
And seriously, this alarm is absolutely essential. Without it, we would be so reckless. We'd just wander into busy streets without looking. We'd never prepare for anything. Our species probably would have died out a long, long time ago.
And what's really cool is that no matter how many different dangers there are in the world, our brain is basically hardwired with just 3 core survival strategies. Just 3 simple, primal ways to respond to any threat.
First up, you've got attack. This is that impulse to fight back, to go right at the danger. Now, it could be a literal fight, sure, but it could also be you arguing your point in a meeting or marching into your boss's office to ask for that raise. Then there's flight. This is all about recognizing a danger that you can't or probably shouldn't fight and just getting away from it. It's running from a physical threat, but it's also knowing when to quit a toxic job or just walking away from a pointless argument. It's the wisdom of escape. And number 3 is freeze. This is what kicks in when attacking and running just aren't options. You know, like an animal playing dead. For us humans, it might look like staying totally silent to avoid making a conflict worse, or just kind of gritting your teeth and enduring a bad situation when you feel stuck.
Now here's the thing. Every single one of these is a valid and necessary tool in our survival toolkit. The problem isn't the tools themselves, it's when we get stuck using only one. Always attacking every problem, always running from conflict, or always freezing up. That's when our helpful alarm system starts to create more problems than it solves.
So this leads us to a really important question. How do we know when that helpful alarm system has kind of gone haywire and turned into a disorder that's actually hurting us instead of helping?
Well, the author points to 3 big red flags. First, impairment. It's actively getting in the way of your life, stopping you from working, seeing friends, or even leaving the house. Second, it has no basis. The anxiety feels like it's coming from nowhere, latching onto things that aren't real threats. And third, disproportion. Your reaction is a 10 out of 10 panic attack over a 1 out of 10 problem.
And this quote, oh man, it just perfectly nails that last point. The actual real-world danger might be like a tiny 10% risk, but our anxious response is 100%, totally all-consuming. It's like your fire alarm going off because someone lit a single match.
Okay, so if the alarm is broken, how do we fix it? Well, here's the surprising answer. We don't. Instead, we learn to recalibrate our response to the alarm. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is with a mental toolkit called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
CBT is built on this really simple but kind of mind-blowing sequence. A situation, like a crowded bus showing up, is totally neutral. It's just a bus. It's our thought about the bus that creates the emotion. And then that emotion is what drives our behavior.
And that right there is the whole secret. It's in step 2. You can't change the fact that the bus is crowded, but you absolutely can change your automatic thought about it. And if you can challenge and change that thought, you can change the entire outcome.
All right, let's make this real. The situation is you get a new task at work.
The negative automatic thought is, I'm going to fail this, everyone will find out I'm a fraud. That thought leads to the emotion of intense fear. But using CBT, we can stop and challenge that thought. We can replace it with a more realistic one, like the one you see here. This new thought completely changes the feeling, right? It just lowers the temperature dramatically.
And that really brings us to the main takeaway here. This whole process, it's not about winning some epic battle against your anxiety. It's about changing your relationship with it, shifting from constantly fighting it to, well, to understanding it. It's about learning to live with it, not as an enemy, but just as a part of who you are.
So what does that actually look like? Well, it's about learning to accept that anxiety is just part of your biology. When you feel that tightness in your chest, the goal is to just observe it, breathe through it, don't fight it. And you know what? Sometimes the most powerful tool of all is to just find the humor in it. A good laugh can completely deflate anxiety's power. And this is such a beautiful reminder. So often, anxiety is tangled up with love and care. We worry about things precisely because we value them so much. It's a sign that something or someone matters deeply to us. It's not a flaw. In a way, it's a feature of love itself.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. Instead of always asking how to get rid of your anxiety, maybe try asking a different question. What is it trying to tell you? What important message might this misunderstood companion be carrying for you? Subscribe to the channel and like, and also suggest your topics for future videos in the comments.